there. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Hangout with Sandra Longmore show. And I am so glad you are here. And those of you that are new to my show, I am Sandra Longmore, and you can find out more about me right there, sandralongmore.com. And who am I? Well, I'm a law of attraction trainer and a life coach and a person who likes to provide beauty and solutions and up-leveling content for you, just for you. Because you may have just started looking at this particular YouTube video and found, wait, I attracted something that I needed to hear today. And that's how it works. That's how spontaneity and serendipities and all that stuff works. And you're going to find out more about how that works as you listen to this show today. So the show today, the topic is You Are Not Alone. And you really, really are never alone. And after this show, I think that you will know more about why you are not alone. So you know that topic, You Are Not Alone, says to me that you might need encouragement to know that you truly are not alone. You know, to tell you the truth, I really enjoy my time alone. I'm here in my studio right now broadcasting on this Google Plus Hangout. And there's a little bit of my artwork in the back and a fun horse that I painted one time and keep in my art studio as inspiration. And so I have this feelings about a creative muse that kind of whispers in my ear and says to me, things like impulses and creative urges. So you don't have to be an artist to have access to this creative muse that whispers things in your ear. It's like sometimes when you get an impulse to do something, turn right instead of left, go someplace else other than the place you were going to go. Well, the other day, just as an example, I got the idea that I wanted to, on Saturdays, every Saturday, I buy my groceries and I go to grocery stores and I buy my groceries, and I like to kind of mix it up, go to different grocery stores. Well, this Saturday, I felt like I really, really wanted a big cup of coffee. I wanted a big cup of coffee and then buy my groceries. And I thought that's just going to kind of perk me up and I'm going to feel really cool and just get those groceries in a good high vibration, because high vibration is where it's at. So I usually thought, well, I'm going to go to Costco. And then I remembered, well, Costco, their coffee machine wasn't working the last time. And so I thought, So then I remembered that Fred Meyer's, another grocery store, has a Starbucks in it, plus groceries, plus even clothes. So I might even take a look at those clothes. So I drove on to Fred Meyer's and I bought that big cup of coffee, the venti size, skinny caramel macchiato with coconut cream, big glass like that. Put it in my basket, started rolling the basket on to, find other groceries, and spilled it. Spilled it. But I did grab it in time, and I only spilled half of it. So I thought, yeah, darn. So I went and got some napkins, and I put it over there and put it over this spill, and then I looked for someone in the grocery store, somebody who was working there to help me clean up the spill. And I noticed a woman coming towards me and I said, hey, hey, hey. And she came in and then as she got closer, I went, Linda, it's you. So this was a woman from my past that I had known 30 years ago. And I said, it's so good to see you. And she said, well, it's good to see you too. And then her voice kind of went down and her head went down a little bit. And I said, Linda, what's wrong? And she said, she says, my sister's just really, really sick. And in fact, she's dying. And I'm going to go there next month, and she's going to be with hospice, and so, you know, it's rough for me right now. And I said, "Oh, Linda, wow, that really, really must be." And she said, "Yeah, I need to be really strong." And I looked at her and I thought, you know, I always remember you as being strong. I remember how you just, you know, you got yourself a job after your divorce, and how you started that craft business and sold your crafts, and how you just were really a strong person. And she looked at me with such a look of relief. And I said, "Blessings to you, Linda." And she says, "Blessings to you, Sandra." And I said, "Oh, I almost forgot why I called you over here. It was because I spilled this coffee." And she went, "Oh." And she just perked right up, and she got into her empowerment mode. And she goes, "Hey, you over there, clean that spill. Hey, get over here. We need to get this spill cleaned up right away." So it was like she had been empowered. And I was like blown away because, you know, I know all about law of attraction. I know how the cooperative components have to come together at the right time in the right place for the serendipity meetings to happen. And those serendipity meetings are for the person maybe, for me maybe, or maybe they're for you. I don't know. But I'm telling you this story right now because you are never alone. Because these cooperative components are always coming together, and your source energy always has your back, bringing it together to create the best for you. So you are really never alone. However, when you say there is a reason for everything, sometimes it's kind of hard to swallow. Yeah. And there really is much, much, much more than that. I like this quote by Christina Lauren, and she kind of sums it all up. When you're feeling lonely, that reason why things aren't happening can seem very, very far away. So I'm going to repeat that again, because when you are feeling lonely, that reason why things aren't happening can seem far, far away. And this things are always working out. It's always right time, right place. Sounds like a bunch of crap. Yes, it sounds like a bunch of crap. Well, in the law of attraction world, that is called the allowing stage. Now, this stage is where you have to get out of your own way so things can come to you, and allow the perfect situation to happen. And the less resistance you have, the better. Now, in my story a little while ago about switching grocery stores and having this experience with Linda, is I didn't have a lot of resistance to that. I just wanted to get groceries and a cup of coffee. Not a lot of resistance at all. But you may have something else on your agenda, like a perfect relationship. You want a perfect relationship, or you want to have something happen that's going to help you feel worthwhile. It's going to help you feel really, really good. Well, whatever it is, whatever you are longing for, there's this gap between what you want and what you get when it shows up on your doorstep, when the money is in your account, when you've got your lover in your bed. There's that gap. So think of it like this. Kind of think of it like this. We're going to put it in a completely different scenario here. So think of yourself as at a restaurant and you are ordering a dinner, and the dinner doesn't come. And you, so you get all pissy, you get all, you get all anxious, and you get up and you go in and you go through the doors where the cook is, and you say, "Have you started my dinner yet?" And the cook looks at you like, where did you come from, buddy? And then you go back and you sit down, and you're kind of grunting and groaning, and you're glaring at the waitresses, and they're kind of looking at you like, "What's that dude? What's wrong with him?" So you see the vibe there? The vibe is one at which you are delaying what you want to come to you because you keep checking on it, and you get anxious, and then, yeah, it's going to come sooner or later. You're going to get the meal, but you're going to be in such a bad mood by then, you're not going to enjoy it anyway. So think about this as maybe a person you're trying to attract into your life. If you continually say that you want only a certain type of person and you won't take anything else, that's going to delay what's to come to you, because it's already been answered. Once you ask for something, it's already been answered, and it's you have to get out of the way. So right now I'm going to share with you, I know you want this, is 8 tips how to carry you through the gap of wanting something or being lonely and wanting to be unlonely, or wanting something and getting it manifested. So tip number 1 is to chill. Chill and get your vibe as high as possible. And tip number 2 is find yourself a way to love yourself. So find ways to love yourself, and take a bubble bath, or get your nails done, or get a massage. So that tip number 1 is just kind of chill a little bit. If you're in that restaurant ordering that meal, sit back and relax, listen to the music, enjoy where you're at. Chill and get your vibe high, because only when your vibe is high are you going to attract that what you want. And number 2 is to find ways to love yourself. Take a bubble bath, get your nails done, get a massage. And tip number 3 is get into motion. So exercise, maybe volunteer to be a coach for a sports team or something that gets you in motion. Tip number 4 is get in the habit of appreciation. So challenge yourself to find something to appreciate. Appreciation is a high a vibe as meditation. It really is. It's as high as meditation. So if say every hour you take 5 minutes and you just find something to appreciate, that's going to raise your vibe. It really does. So tip number 4 was appreciation. Tip number 5 is let go of figuring out how it's going to look. So if you keep insisting that what you want is going to look a certain way, say you want a new car and you want it black, and a really nice blue one is there for you, just be general and it's going to show up on your doorstep. Really, really, really. And tip number 6 is embrace your time alone. So tip number 6 is to embrace that time alone. It's easier to stay with good feeling thoughts if you're not around the masses of people. And so the negative people, the news or whatever, take time to embrace that alone time, because your solitary time, your time of confinement, is when you let your creativity grow. And tip number 7 is to start with small steps that feel good, and anticipate how your new activities and friends will feel, because anticipation's a high vibe. You'll notice events or activities that sound like fun that maybe you've never ever thought about before, and then maybe you'd like to join in on some of those. And tip number 8 is love where you at. There is never a crowd on the leading edge. There never is. So you might be out there and feeling lonely because you're on the leading edge of thought, but hang in there. There's really hope. So trust you're going to find other like-minded people who share your vision. Might be in joining groups. It might be in getting a law of attraction trainer or life coach to help you. So there are ways, there are hope that you can expand your where you're at and start loving it. So I'm going to go over those steps again for those of you who like to write things down. Step number 1 was chill. Get your vibe as high as possible. So just chill. Step number 2 was love yourself. Just love yourself. Take time to do self-care, get the bubble bath going, and light the candles. Just love yourself. Tip number 3 is motion. Get yourself in motion. Get yourself moving, exercising. Maybe volunteer for to be a coach for a sports team. Get yourself in motion. Tip number 4 is the habit of appreciation. So challenge yourself to find something to appreciate 5 minutes every hour. Appreciation is the same vibe as meditation. It really is. And tip number 5 is let go of trying to figure it out. Just let go of trying to figure it out and let it come to you. And tip number 6 is embrace your time alone. So if you're feeling lonely, think about embracing that time. This is your time of incubation where your creative thoughts start coming and where your next creative, most evolved act comes from. And tip number 7 is start with small steps that feel good. And when that step feels good, take the next step. Then when that step feels good, take the next step. Just make sure that those steps feel good. And tip number 8 is love where you are at. Know that you can hang out with like-minded people and just find out how to love where you're at. So in conclusion, you are definitely not alone. And your feelings that you have right now of being alone and maybe insecure alone is that you're calling to your next most evolved step to discovery and fun. So embrace those feelings. Let them guide you to discover what you always really want in life, and trust that there is something there that will help you make your dreams come true. The cooperative components are busy working to get you in the right place at the right time with the right vibe. So this is bye for now. You can find out more about me at sandralongmore.com and have a fantastic life, because why? Life is meant to be full of joy, surprise, and discovery.